I am Queen Lovely. Welcome back to Melanated Crowns, tapping into your divine femininity. Today I wanted to come on here and I wanted to do a quick video about, young women just being very careful and protective of their ashe and their energy. Cardi B recently, as you've seen in the clip before this video started, Offset surprised her with a new car at her 28th birthday party. I think this was last night. And, it was disheartening to see because, a lot of times as young women, when we don't really know ourselves, when we really don't value ourselves and love ourselves, we find ourselves on the end of individuals who don't love and value themselves. And we become magnetic for that low vibrational frequency. And it could just cause us to be in a continuous loop of toxicity. So before I get into the video, I just want to ask that you hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. It is free 99. I know some of y'all not doing it. Hit that thumbs up, like do it right now. And subscribe to this channel, okay? Make sure you enable and hit that notification bell so you know when I post more videos such as this. And comment below. I love when you all comment. I love when you engage. Just be respectful to me. Be respectful to this platform, the community members, and be respectful to the people I'm talking about. You may not like who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about, and you may disagree, but just keep it cute and keep it respectful because I want this to be a safe space where we can express ourselves and learn and grow together. I am under the weather, so if I sound congested, if I sound like a, snuffleupagus, however you say, snuffleupagus, I be having problems with words, excuse me. You know what I mean. If I sound real congested, just excuse me. So let's get into this. As you've seen in the video, Cardi B turned 28 yesterday. She is a Libra. Happy birthday to her. And she basically, I think they had a marching band of some sort or whatever the case may be. And she went outside and Offset has surprised her with a new luxury car. She starts to twerk and dance on him. She was having a good time. She was caught up in the ambiance. And her friends and family were chanting, "Take him back, take him back." Now, before I move forward with my commentary on this situation, I want to take it back to when Cardi publicly came out, I want to say last year or 2 years ago, and said that things were not working out with her and her husband Offset and that she was going to leave him. And while she was performing at some concert of some sort, he surprised her on stage and kind of ambushed her, and you could tell that she was visibly annoyed and uncomfortable. And he basically was doing that in efforts to make a grand gesture in front of everybody, to pressure her into taking him back. And I think that's what kind of disturbs my spirit when I see these actions. I don't think that Offset is a nasty or mean-spirited individual. I think that these are two individuals that have yet to come into themselves as a woman, as a man, as a divine feminine source of energy, as a divine masculine source of energy. And they're kind of feeding off of the low vibrational frequencies that they tend to dwell in. When you are in the entertainment industry, which is ruled by money, power, and fame, those are all the root to evil, okay? Those are all the root to low vibrational frequencies because unfortunately, you have a lot of people that will do just about any and everything to obtain and sustain those things. So when you are constantly surrounded by individuals like that, it really becomes harder and harder to protect your peace and to protect your serenity and your ashe, because it's just like, if you're just one, orb of positivity, but you have thousands of people around you on a regular basis, hundreds of people, tens of people around you, and they're on a low frequency, if you're not strong enough and you don't know yourself and you already did not have a strong foundation within, it's gonna be easy to just really yield more to that lower frequency. And that's what I see with Cardi B and Offset. In my personal opinion, and I am not judging anyone who does this, I never think that it's a good idea for individuals to, join in union in their 20s. You're still getting to know yourself. You're still activating your intuition and learning how to make the best decisions for yourself. And to make such a big life-altering decision where what's yours becomes his, what's his becomes yours, vice versa, whatever it is, and then you're merging assets, and then you both are two mega stars, and you just have temptations of women and men and traveling and stuff. How is it that in the midst of getting to know yourself and know one another and grow together, and then you have a child in the mix, you're able to maintain all of that, plus you know, rise and stay on top of your careers. It really is impossible. It just really, it really is. Unless you're like a Beyonce. You know, Beyonce got with Jay-Z when she was 21 years old, but Beyonce had a strong family foundation behind her. Matthew Nortina was not with the BS, and Jay-Z was just a grown man, and you know, he's a Sagittarius. You know, we gonna figure it out. You know, Offset is a Sagittarius, but he's an underdeveloped one. So it was just a lot of red flags with that situation to begin with. Now, to get to the catalyst of this conversation today, ladies, my beautiful young ladies, my lovelies, my roses, I understand that when you are in a place of, you know, having low self-esteem, having low self-worth, having low self-value, okay, you may come from a broken home where your parents were emotionally or physically unavailable. You may have been violated in a physical, emotional, or sexual way, okay? And if you are not presented with the proper people or tools to grow, learn, and heal from that, you could continue to recreate those situations as you come into adulthood, because the little girl or the little boy inside of you is constantly going to be in your subconscious, and it's constantly going to be a magnet for those situations. What I strongly suggest, because at this point, it like I said, it's very disheartening to watch Cardi B go back to Offset. This is the thing. We see stuff like this all the time. We all got that homegirl or that homeboy that's always in a back and forth situation, relationship, toxic love cycle with someone, right? But first and foremost, the business should stay off the internet. And to Cardi B's, you know, defense, she didn't announce this divorce. You know, people dug up the divorce decree, whatever it's called, and it just was what it was. And she didn't have to speak on it. She did fuel the flames because people was accusing her of all kinds of things, but it just is what it is. I just want you to know that if you know you are with someone who does not love and value you, and you finally find a little bit of strength to say, you know what, I'm going to begin the process of walking away. This no longer works for me. This is not supporting my evolution as a spiritual being having a physical experience. And the people who are supposed to be your friends and the people that are your relatives and your co-workers are trying to convince you to do otherwise, that is a red flag. And let me tell you why. I remember when Offset crashed the stage with Cardi B a few years ago. I don't know when it was. Y'all could tell me in the comments. It really does not matter. And it was said that her publicist Patience allegedly had helped to orchestrate that. Here's my thing. If I'm your publicist, your friend, your spiritual advisor, therapist, mama, whatever the case may be, and I know that this man continuously cheats on you and steps outside of this marriage. This is not a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. This is not some, you know, we effing and sucking and then we friends or whatnot. This is a marriage. This is a spiritual bondage. Okay, a spiritual bondage under the guise of God. And Cardi B prides herself in being religious and spiritual, and she prays 1,000,000 times a day. Okay, and Offset, quiet as it's kept, his mother is a woman of faith as well. So I wouldn't be surprised, and then he's a Sagittarius, if he's spiritual and religious in some sort of way. Okay, y'all are not respecting the vows that y'all took to one another. Y'all are not respecting what it means to be in spiritual unison with one another. And it's just a situation where when you have people around you talking about take him back, why? Because he bought her a luxury car. How materialistic and superficial can you get? And see, I've been saying this since 2018 on my older platform, that as a society, we are vibrating on a very low frequency, because we have gotten to a place where this man has been caught publicly cheating on her. Okay, the first time when the tape was released, there's been messages. There have been women that's come forward. Cardi B is still in the midst of litigation, because allegedly she had somebody physically assault some stripper bartenders that was allegedly, all of these things because you don't respect your wife and the mother of a daughter that y'all have together. And when she finally makes a move to put the paperwork in and get the process started, y'all should support her each and every step of the way. Now, we don't know what happens behind the scenes, because if it's me, I personally would have had it where he couldn't even get on the premises with that car. Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you. Okay? And maybe Cardi B really is not done with him. You know, I remember when I did a reading, for those of you that's part of my Patreon, if y'all want to see celebrity tarot readings, y'all can hit the link in my description box. For $3 a month, you have access to celebrity commentary, tarot readings, and spiritual advising sessions. Queen Lovely Speaks, that is my Patreon. I said that Cardi B was kind of on the fence and I didn't see the marriage going anywhere. So they probably been seeing each other, texting, whatever the case may be. That's her husband. She's entitled to that. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to encourage or support toxicity, especially when you have a child in the mix. So I just want those that are watching, especially my young lovelies that's in their teenage years and their early 20s, there's nothing cute about what goes on between Offset and Cardi. And I'm not saying that Cardi B or Offset said it was cute, but we do live in a time where with social media, YouTube and all these other public forums, it's easy to be, you know, impressed by things that really should just not be impressionable. But that just is how it is when you're at that stage of, you know, teenage to your early 20s. There's nothing cute or commendable about watching a young woman who has no self-love or no self-respect be disrespected and dishonored over and over again by her husband, and all he has to do is kind of bum rush her at an event or at her birthday party with, you know, a bunch of theatrics and superficial and materialistic gifts, and then all of a sudden they're back together. That's not love, that's not marriage, and that is not respect. That is manipulation. Okay, and that distinction needs to be made. I truly hope, wish, and pray for Cardi B that people and tools are put in her path so that she could see what the problem is. Typically, when we continue to engage in something or someone or a situation that we know is counterproductive to our growth, it's because we feel a sense of safeness or security, okay? For me, it's food. I'm gonna be transparent right now. You know, I've been on this health fitness journey, and there's times where I'll order takeout or I'll get snacks and I won't even be hungry. But I do it because there's something about indulging in food. It makes me feel safe, even if it doesn't taste good or it doesn't have any taste at all, because that's not even what I want to eat. And that's something that I'm working through therapy and so on and so forth. So Cardi B has to do her introspection and really ask herself and have people around her that are not her yes men, that are not on her payroll, okay? A therapist or somebody that could just really put the mirror in her face and get her to see her shadow side and her shadow traits. There's a reason and there's a safeness in Offset that keeps her going back despite all of the pain that outweighs that safeness. And that is the scary thing when you have some sort of addiction or codependency with something or someone. That coping mechanism, it's like, this causes me more harm than good, but yet I still continue to use this as a coping mechanism. And that's just very scary, especially when you don't know that's what's happening. And then the person, or the, you know, in this case, the person who is your coping mechanism, because I don't think there's anything stupid or slow about Offset. I think he's well aware that Cardi B has very low self-esteem. I think he's well aware of, you know, her background, as we all are, because she tells everybody her business. And he uses that to manipulate her, because he knows that she's emotionally weak. And that's just what it is. This is not a video to bash Cardi B or condemn her or judge her. This is just a video, like I said, for young ladies and young women to do better and make better decisions. It's not cute. Now, things happen. Sometimes you go through situations where you're going back and forth. I've been in those situations. But with me, I did my best not to allow it to ruin me on a spiritual, physical, or emotional or mental level. And with Cardi B, she, you know, she may smile and laugh, but the fact, like just the other day, she was cursing her fans out. That's someone who is in spiritual poverty. That's someone who's not happy with themselves, and that's someone that's just miserable. Okay, and I gotta give it to Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj said this a while ago. You're married, you got a Grammy, you just got a #1, and you just had a biggest blessing, which is your baby, and you still feel the need to curse people out and allegedly send people to beat up on women. That's someone that's in spiritual poverty, and they're miserable. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, I don't think Offset is a bad person. Life happens in stages, and in some stages of our lives, we can behave in a very deplorable way. And then God will humble us, the tower will fall, and then as we're building ourselves back up, we become better individuals. So I'm not going to just judge him with a blanket statement, but he is manipulating that girl. And a lot of young girls and young women who don't know themselves and don't love themselves and don't value themselves get manipulated as well. And I just want Cardi B to do better, because you have a daughter now. It's not about you. See, it's cute to have the baby. Oh, I just want someone who loves me unconditionally. But if you don't love you unconditionally, there's going to be a breakdown in that relationship between you and that child, because you can only give to that child what you're giving to yourself. And you've shown us time and time again that you are not giving to yourself. I feel bad for her. I feel like she has a lot of people in her corner that depend on her financially, and as a result, they'll continue to push Cardi B to make bad decisions, because this is how it works. If Cardi B comes to her senses and decides, you know what, I'm leaving Offset, and she really follows through with it, all it takes is for you to make one good decision to remove one negative thing, and then it's like a magnetic thing. You start to see, oh, well, he's not the only person that needs to go. She needs to go, and you need to go, and I need to stop doing this, and I need to stop doing that. Maybe I should scale back on partying. The friends that you usually party with, you try to stay away from them because you don't want to be influenced. So they'll push her to continue to be with him, because they know that once she finally breaks away from him, it's going to be a domino effect of her getting rid of all of them. So pay attention. I hope you all learned something from this. If you are currently in a situation where you're doing the back and forth tango dance, I'm not condemning you. I'm not judging you. I am just warning you to protect your ashe and protect your peace, and don't go into spiritual poverty for another individual. Have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think below. Bye.